to What You Missed When You Didn't Exist. I am Corbett, and I am 54.
And I'm Lucy, and I'm 25.
You and your extra age.
I know, I'm ruined. It's okay, I'll catch up in a few months.
I know, no time flat. But in What You Missed When You Didn't Exist, we talk about everything that happened from 1970 to the year 2000, basically the time when I was alive and Lucy was not. And this time around, Lucy, we are talking about the Winter Olympics.
But that happened this year.
That did happen this year. But let me talk about something more important than anything in your life: ice skating.
But that happened this year.
Okay, what happened in 1976? The Winter Gold Olympic skating champion, figure skating champion, Dorothy Hamill. Dorothy Hamill was an icon of the 70s. On Wheaties boxes, in television shows, movies, and everything else, because she was such a good figure skater. I think your rebuttal to that earlier was, who's Dorothy Hamill?
Yep. I don't know who
And
that
the sad thing is, she is still alive. Dorothy Hamill did one thing, more importantly, and this is kind of sad to say, more important than her being this big ice skater, she did one thing for fashion that you can appreciate more than you know. She introduced the idea to the world that you could have a page cut.
That's not fashion, but okay.
She put that out there as a thing, like, you can have this short hair and still be considered feminine, which is kind of funny because if you think about it, there's women all through history who've done the page cut. I don't know how she got the Dorothy Hamill bob, but that was considered her haircut. She was the Rachel of her time. How about that?
Of the 70s.
Of the 70s, people saw that and like, oh, I've got to have the Dorothy Hamill haircut.
Didn't people want the Farrah Fawcett more than that, though?
They wanted the Farrah Fawcett, but you got to grow that out, and it takes time to grow hair. But the Dorothy Hamill is short and sweet.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, I definitely remember the interview with her where somebody was like questioning, like, why would you cut your hair to look like a man's? Which is funny because if anything, it looks like the Beatles from the 60s. Which I guess looks like a man, but the Beatles were getting jabbed because they look like women because they had longer hair than normal men of the 60s. So, wow, whatever. Anyway, she was this dainty waif-like figure floating across the ice. And I do remember the popularity of her being this ice skating miracle. I've never been a big ice skating fan.
Which is lame. Ice skating is so cool. And you like hockey. What's up with that?
Well, it's different. You're ice skating with a stick.
So you're cheating in ice skating because you need a stick to keep you up?
Well, think how more exciting figure skating would be if the other figure skaters were on the field and could trip them up. It'd be pretty much more impressive, don't you think?
So you just like to watch people fail. Look at how terrible of a person you are.
Yeah, maybe. But I would say, Dorothy Hamill, Bruce Jenner. I'm trying to think of every Wheaties box. Like, whoever made the Wheaties box, they were the one. And it was pretty neat that Dorothy Hamill was on the Wheaties box at one point.
Wait, Bruce Jenner before he became Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah, Bruce Jenner was like a track and field athlete, Summer Olympics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Bruce Jenner was the Summer Olympic champion that year.
Wow.
And is currently known as Caitlyn Jenner. So I guess there's something for you.
Exciting.
And I would say Dorothy Hamill really stood out to me just because she was in so many other they sprinkled her through anything they could. She wound up in like all these TV shows. And I think I was looking at her IMDb listing. I think she was in Blades of Glory, the Will Ferrell ice skating movie.
The one that's coming out this year? Or no? Never mind.
No, a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Like probably 5 or 6 years back now.
Yeah. Never mind.
But she's still around, still doing stuff. I think I wouldn't be shocked if she was still ice skating today. I'm sure she is. Watching her perform in the Olympics and seeing other events where she was ice skating, you can tell she really loves it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I mostly just kind of thought it was funny that like her hairstyle was hers. I think she said, what was it? She liked it because she saw The Sound of Music with
oh yeah, Julie Andrews.
Very short haircut. Now, I think Julie Andrews didn't have like a bob type cut.
It was more like a pixie, for sure.
Yeah, but still, it was short, and it was still like, oh, well, she can have that, even though Like, yeah, it's fine. You can have your own haircut and it's yours. I can assure you, your haircut is yours. I will admit this is another fashion thing that I'm kind of blindsided to. I don't understand how the Rachel became the Rachel because she's just the person who happened to be seen on television at the time. But,
Yeah.
the Dorothy Hamill haircut was the Dorothy Hamill haircut. And if you look at like shows from the 70s, you'll probably see quite a few similar versions of Dorothy Hamill's haircut, maybe poofed out or wider
Yeah.
or even kind of pixie styled. But it was very, very popular at that time because it was a lot easier to deal with, a lot easier to maintain. And because of Dorothy Hamill, women could feel feminine without having to have all the extra stress and work of longer hair. Because fair hair takes effort
It
and
does.
hairspray.
It does. It's trending again, though, but
Mm.
That's exciting.
But no, it's just a comment, I guess, on the Winter Olympics that happened. This year we had the men's and women's hockey team took gold
So did
for the
ice
U.S. So that
skating.
was a big deal. Ice skating did too.
Her name was Alyssa. Oh my gosh. I don't know her name. But she has this signature alternative hairstyle specifically where she has like these raccoon stripes all the way over and down her hair. Her name is Alyssa Liu. Alyssa Liu.
Yeah, she has stripes, kind of like you did that. I think a few years back.
I have never done that.
Maybe
Excuse
not
me.
as dramatic. No, not as dramatically done. Like you wear a triple dip cone or something.
No, I had like a grow out period and I was trying to blend my hair a little bit more, but she is deliberately doing stripes, which is something that she's been doing for years apparently, because she just lets the grow out happen and then they just clean it up and make the edges more perfect. Because I think she went on a talk show to talk about it. So I'm guessing that's going to be a new trendy thing.
Well, no, maybe that's just a thing where maybe ice skaters feel like they have to have signature hair now. Maybe Dorothy Hamill made it to where people have to do that.
I think
I doubt
people
it.
just
But
like having their own individuality, and then because they're individual, they stand out a bit more, and so they come up with new things.
just like Dorothy Hamill, Elisa's been doing it for years. It's not like, oh, I've got to do this for this one competition. It's like, no, it's just what you're doing.
True.
Because I will say this with the Rachel, what's her name?
Jennifer Aniston.
Yes, thank you. Jennifer Aniston still doesn't exactly still have the Rachel look. She has Jennifer Aniston hair.
This is true.
Long and straight. It's totally just her normal hair the way it is.
Well, because
So,
doing the Rachel takes a lot of work.
yeah, it does.
Hairstyles are important. It kind of defines who you are as a person, which is funny because I've always believed that you can try whatever hairstyle you want because hair grows back. But there are some people that are so deeply attached to their hair that they don't want to do anything to it. And the idea of changing it, even like taking a trim a couple inches off, is like, oh my gosh, I don't know who I'm going to be without those couple inches. Like, hair grows back. It's kind of the point of hair.
Yeah, it's that old saying. Your every bad haircut is just 2 weeks away from being a good haircut.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I guess there's a lesson to be learned there about ice skating and hair.
I don't know if it's ice skating and hair. I think it just goes to show that you can have you can be an individual and maybe you don't realize how big of an impact that is until you do something great like make the gold at the Olympics. Because in school, teacher moment here, I was teaching my kids about Simone Biles because we were doing informational texts and we were reading these articles about Simone Biles and her life and the things that she dealt with. And one of the big things was one, she was a Black woman doing gymnastics, which is unheard of because typically you want to be a dainty little, cutesy little thing and you want to be all artsy and creative. And having a Black woman in sports adds typically a bit more intensity because they're more athletic. And so she was able to do more turns and flips and back handsprings. And then she came up with her own signature move, the Biles. And now that's kind of the expectation of gymnastics now, is to be more athletic and to have power and to control that power instead of being artsy and pretty. Yeah,
Well, that's kind of interesting.
I know.
That's interesting because I've always considered him to be pretty strong. Because Mary Lou Retton, I think it was Mary Lou Retton in the '80s who won the gold, and she won the gold with like a broken leg or a twisted ankle or something.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was always like, yeah, gymnasts are tough. They do all, and she's tiny. I've actually met her. She's like when I stand next to most people, they all seem like tiny little people.
Yeah.
She is super tiny.
Well, yeah.
Very nice person, but she was I think the spokesman for when I was doing bicycle racing, and they had her come in because she's an Olympian. I'm like, ooh, wow.
Wow, interesting. Well, I don't know. I think it kind of shifted back and forth, but Simone Biles, again, when you win an Olympic medal, you typically change the world of whatever sport you're doing for some reason because you do a new thing that no one expects.
Mm,
And it changes the world forever. And it could be a signature haircut that kind of follows along with it. But this is kind of the power of, I guess, celebrities,
mm.
even though I guess not a lot of people consider Olympians celebrities, but they become overnight sensations because of the impact that they had on their country.
Yeah. Well, everybody's rooting for their own home team. That's the one cool thing about the Olympics. I will say I kind of enjoy is a bit of a sense of national pride.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're doing our best. Look at us go. And I think that's probably what footballers get. Well, the international sport of soccer.
Oh, yes.
For our international listeners, let's call it football.
Yep. Football.
There's football players all over the world.
Yeah.
And you have different countries playing against different other countries in playoffs. It's kind of funny how we get all wound up with American football and like, oh, this state versus that state. But like you have world players like
Yeah.
on a world scale playing in the international football leagues, and it seems like that's a much cooler setup. Like, oh yeah, we beat those guys from Maine as opposed to we took on Zimbabwe. It's crazy.
Yeah, competing for the World Cup. I think that should be
Hmm.
happening soon, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember.
That's one downside of not following sports as much. So,
It's okay. We'll start following soccer soon.
soon.
Yeah, Nico's about to start doing soccer.
Is he? Oh, that's right. He is, isn't he?
Yeah, coaching it.
He just won the local strongman competition, so he's going to be going to nationals, right?
He is going to be going to nationals. I don't know if he's going to because it's around the same time as the bachelor party. So I think he's going to go bachelor it up instead of lifting more weights.
So you can either go lift 180-pound bags and throw them up 10 feet, or you can just go see naked women dance for him.
Yeah, pretty much.
I see his life goals.
Hey,
Awesome.
gotta get the one last hurrah in, you know? He can always do another national. He only gets one bachelor party.
So if he wins the gold, his signature is going to be I went to the strip club. What an icon!
Yes, all the different kinds of icons. It happens.
Mhm.
Though I think that's an interesting debate on whether you want to be new and exciting and do like this new trendy thing, or whether you want to stick with something that is a bit more timeless and something that can look good in any era, roughly.
Mhm.
Because I think that's something that switching a little bit into like wedding talk is like with wedding dresses or wedding hair, you either want to do something new and different and exciting that people don't expect, or you want to do something a little bit more timeless that you can look back at your photo album years later and you can see that, oh, look, I look good then and it like looks good now. You know, I could share this with the world and it wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking with doing that trendy thing that I thought would be so cutesy at the time.
There are a lot of scary wedding photos out there, and there's a lot of scary graduation photos. Same way.
Very
Going
true.
with the trends. There's a certain part of me that gets a laugh out of people who want to look their absolute best on their wedding day. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure the same thing for Olympians when they're like, they want to be done up and all this and all that. And there's a small bit of me that's like, in 20 years, you're going to look back at it and go, wow, you look amazing. What happened? This is what being married has done.
Oh my
This,
gosh.
this is 20 years of it.
Sure, it's not the
Oh,
kids. You said it was
Yeah.
me that gave you all your gray hairs.
No, that was your mom. Your mom was the one who was like, "Oh, gray hairs, the kids give me all this. I used to have red hair."
Yeah, exactly. So it's the kids' fault. It's not marriage's fault. You guys could have been married without kids and been just fine. It's
Mm.
the kids that ruined it all. And you tell me all the time that I gave you gray hairs. Do not blame this on mom. You say the same thing.
I never think about my gray hair. In fact, I barely even notice it. Every so often, I'll see myself in the mirror and go, "Who's that old guy?"
You're such a liar. Why are you lying to our listeners right now?
What?
You tell me, I swear. We'll sit down and you're like, you're the one that gave me all this. Not the boys, you. You have told me. I have taken that blame.
You've definitely added up in the years. I'll give you that.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
Way off topic. Back to the Olympians and our ice skater, Dorothy Hamill.
But Dorothy Hamill was quite the icon. She stood out at the time, and honestly, I think she still stands out. I was kind of surprised looking back at it. I didn't realize she married Dean Martin's son.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, no, and I'm blanking on his name right now.
So she's not related to Mark Hamill. Different Hamills.
No, that also is kind of funny just because I've seen interviews where Mark Hamill and sometimes he'll say like, "Oh yeah, I'm related to her." And they're like, "Can you get us an autograph of that?" No, I can't. Because she was more famous than he was when he got into Star Wars. And he would suddenly, get pulled over and like, "Look, I'm Mark Hamill. I'm just heading to work or whatever. You don't need to give me a ticket." It's like, "Oh wait, Hamill? Are you related to Dorothy Hamill?" Gave him way more credit, to being famous than Mark Hamill had, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Personally, I think they should start up their own podcast where it's just Hamill on Hamill. Mark Hamill and Dorothy Hamill talking about things.
So funny.
Two Hamills hamming it up.
Wait, so if Hamill won gold, she had a signature move though, didn't she? To win.
Yeah, I looked it up. It was the camel Hamill or the Hamill camel.
I would say the
forget.
Hamill camel sounds more correct.
Yeah, probably something in that. It was a camel spin, which is where you're on one leg with one, like you're leaning forward, kind of like you're flying, but put your body in a 90-degree angle. One leg straight down, one leg straight out. So I guess you make a T. I don't exactly know why they call it a Hamill or a camel.
I think because your head is a hump, your back is a hump, and your butt is a hump. I don't know what the leg would be. I would say more flamingo.
This is where our lack of skating knowledge falls short. But it's the Hamill camel because it's a camel spin where you're on the one leg spinning, and then she drops into a sitting spin. It is basically, she's all spins. I looked at a couple different performances by her, and yeah, she does a lot of spins, a lot of big power twirly spins. But then again, every time I see a skater, they're always doing spins, so I don't know. I just presume it's disorienting as heck.
Well, I would like to see you spin on
them.
skates and see what happens.
It'd be mostly me throwing up on skates, but that's okay.
But you played hockey. You know how skating works.
You don't spin.
Well, you should.
Not like that.
Could you imagine? They should combine it. Make like hockey figure skating or something.
Well, that's why I said just give the figure skaters sticks. Though we'll have to have another show about that figure skater. I know there's some of our listeners like, "Oh, you didn't mention her." Like, nah, we'll save that one. But for the most part, I would just say stick with the style you have. Dorothy Hamill, one thing I can say about Dorothy Hamill I really like, she was genuinely her. She wanted to be a good skater because she wanted to be. That's just it. Her hairstyle was hers long before it was actually hers somehow. I don't know how you count that, how you get ownership. But the Dorothy Hamill haircut was hers before that.
Well, I mean, technically the Paige haircut you can connect that all the way back to like Joan of Arc.
Oh yeah.
So it's not hers, but
well,
sure.
No, but it was doted upon her because she was that popular at the time.
Yeah.
I would say stick with what you got.
Be you.
So for what you missed when you didn't exist, be a champion. Go for the gold.
Okay. You do you, chickaboo. That's what I tell my kids.